So, what should we do tonight?
Well, I think we should do something.
Anything's better than last night.
If you're still trying to figure out what to watch tonight, we've got a couple of great suggestions.
Saw it.
Don't want to see it.
Coming on in 20 minutes.
Can't wait around to see it.
I've thought of something. Why don't we rent a video tonight?
Yeah, can we please?
On a weeknight?
Yeah, come on, Mom. It's okay.
Sure, come on. Let's throw caution to the wind.
Hey guys, what's going on? You are listening to ThisWeekInGeek.net's Loose Cannon, and we are concluding our celebration of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. My name is Mike the Birdman, but I'm not alone as I trek through the sewers of New York City. I'm joined by my friend at the other end of Guelph, Ontario, Canada, the host of End Credits and Guelph Politicast.
I'm Adam A. Donaldson.
And of course, from the lovely wasteland that is Ohio, we have
David Denoyer coming to you from Ohio.
And of course, it is TWIG's very own anime aficionado and expert from the Garden State of New Jersey,
Ken from This Anime.
So guys, like I said, we have been celebrating TMNT over the course of the last 3 to 4 weeks or so. We've talked about the original live action TMNT movies that came out in the early 90s. We've hit the animation movies, which unfortunately I wasn't around for. I was doing some political stuff downtown. And today we're going to close out our celebration with a discussion about the Michael Bay movies that came out in 2014 and 2016, I want to say. And then we'll probably do a very loose ranking of everything we've seen so far. So to start things off, TMNT 2014. Well, what do I say about this? So when this movie came out, it's so weird. So I was very excited for this. I had a very close working relationship with Playmates at the time, and they were sending me all the toys for this line. I was pretty excited. I had all the, literally every single toy from this series. And that kind of got me excited. I'm a very toy-centric type of person. Basically, I'm a giant child. When I saw this movie, I initially didn't like it very much. Now, I had a chance to rewatch this in the last 24 hours. I've watched this and Out of the Shadows back to back pretty much. And my opinion has actually significantly changed from my original viewing back in 2014 and then when I reviewed the Blu-ray from Paramount a couple of months later. I actually don't mind this. Actually, in quite a number of ways. I did notice there are some flaws with this movie, which we're definitely going to get to. Looking at you, Karai. But that's because I love side characters and I love, why sideline someone who's really friggin' cool. The designs of the turtles are not my first choice, but I want you guys to percolate on this one. If this had come out today, would we have Sonic the Hedgehog them? Because when Sonic the Hedgehog came out, people complained and they changed the design. Do you think that would have still happened had this came out during the pandemic?
No, because Michael Bay is known to stick to his guns. I mean, he literally told Ben Affleck to shut the fuck up when he was bringing up a very good point in Armageddon about sending drill people into space versus just teaching astronauts how to drill. So, I mean, I don't think you would have gotten through to him. I don't think we would have bullied him like we did with Sonic. And to be perfectly honest, it's unfortunate that that's the design they went with because I feel like it completely takes away the ability for them to hide.
Yeah, they're basically brutes, which is
they're huge. I mean, they're huge.
Yeah.
They remind me of the wizard chess pieces in Harry Potter almost.
Raph is literally like a giant wrecking ball of a
turtle.
Yeah,
and I mean, that was one thing that I was picking up on while watching it this time. Is it was just like, how are these things getting through manhole covers? How are those shells fitting through manhole covers in the sewer?
Well, they had to play fast and loose with the effects on that one.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. I watched it.
It's weird. The more I went back, there were little moments that I liked, and Speaking of their physicality, there's the training sequence where they're showing off how they do all their weapons and how they move. That's the most fluid they look in the entire movie, which is again neither here nor there. But
Well,
I will say
they
this:
probably spent there are certain the production of the first Bay film was muddled with last minute rewrites and course corrections and hell.
Yeah. I guess my final thing before I pass this over to Adam is I remember for a very long time I was in the camp of I don't like Megan Fox. And I'm willing to recount that. I recognize when you give her something fun to work with, she can be quite good. Do I think she's the best April? No. I do, however, think she's the second best. At least in live action, which admittedly there's only been
she got
three
more
people.
stuff. She got more April stuff to do.
Yeah, and she wasn't just, hi, I'm going to look hot, with the exception of the beginning Out of the Shadows, but we'll get to that. So, Adam, what was your experience with the Bayverse movie?
Wasn't particularly invested in it. Let's just say that. TMNT, the Bayhem movies. Yeah, no, I have a lot of the same mixed thoughts. I didn't hate them. And revisiting them this time, I would say I bordered on. I didn't like the first one. I do enjoy the heck out of the second one. It's just silly and goofy and completely unapologetic for it. But to go back to the first one, I think suffers from Amazing Spider-Man syndrome. It's like we've done this once. We've done it pretty good. We have to justify doing it, and we have to justify with every choice we make. So we have to be oversized and huge and extreme. Like this is so like extreme coded. Like mid, yeah, edgelord. Yes, that's what I was getting at. The whole thing with the origin story that. With April, like for her pets, even though they were lab animals, I'm using finger quotes here. I mean, the irresponsibility of April O'Neil's father taking his child into a lab where they're experimenting on animals, injecting them with booze, and then letting her like name them and get attached to them when the end point of any experiment on animals is that they will be euthanized and dissected in order to get like the lab results. Just incredibly irresponsible parenting on the part of Mr. O'Neill or Dr. O'Neill. It just galls me. To Mike's point, yes, Megan Fox shoveled a lot of shit, particularly in the Transformers era. Maybe some of that was self-inflicted with her comments about Bay, who, as we pointed out, is not a gracious man by any stretch of the imagination. I know Lindsay Ellis is kind of like a mixed bag for people, but I would encourage everyone to watch her essay about Megan Fox in the Transformers movie, and that recontextualization, because I think that's a real fascinating look at like the misconceptions about the Michaela character in the Transformers movie. Because I think Megan Fox is due for a reevaluation from Transformers to this too. Jennifer's body is getting a reevaluation and more appreciation, which is
I always
appreciate it.
Jennifer's body. I'm just gonna
so
say
did I.
Like,
Saw it at TIFF in 2009. Loved it, and everyone was wrong about it at the time.
I mean, they're trying to get the sequel up and running. Like,
I don't think they're trying. I think it is. I think they are already getting it set up and whatnot from what I just read actually yesterday.
That sounds great. Don't need it, but anyway.
We could have a whole episode about things announced recently that it's just like, no thanks, I already got one. We're good.
Yeah, that's it. Exactly. All right, but to get back to not Transformers, Turtles. I think I can't remember if we were talking about this on the recording or not, or before the recording started. But I think when you get to the Foot Clan lore is a mess. I don't mean to steal Mike's position as lore guy, but the Foot Clan stuff is a mess. The Shredder feels like such a nothing burger. I don't know why David Vintner's playing Business Guy. Why we have Business Guy in this when we have Shredder? No, thank you, Business Guy. But when
Business
we get
guy, and Business Guy is so obviously a bad guy from the first, from the moment you meet him, it's just like, oh, William Feitner is gonna be a bad guy. Okay, that's what we're doing.
You've heard of White Savior. This is like White Antichrist.
Yeah.
Well, and for the record, I like Feitner is a great actor. Like, we already mentioned Armageddon, but he's great in so many things. So it's like I'm not opposed to
Drive
him being
Angry.
here. Oh yeah, Drive Angry.
Yep.
I mean, he's him as the accountant is so fucking good in that movie.
So,
but I'm not like gonna say that like he's wasted in this, but it's just like the moment you see him, you're just like, oh, that's a bad guy.
Oh, he's wasted in this.
So here's the thing. Originally, he was the Shredder.
Huh?
I remember this at the time.
I
Yeah.
remember that. Yeah.
Is there screen tests of him in the outfit? Because if so, I want to see this.
Possibly.
Oh,
but like originally, he was the Shredder. They realized, oh, we're whitewashing a character. Let's not do that.
Yeah.
So that's what you were talking about. Okay, I was curious what you were talking about in the messages offline. Okay, that totally makes sense though. Okay.
Yeah.
So
basically the entire third act got rewritten.
That's right.
You can't tell. You can't tell at all.
Well, what I will say is that, like, at least the action in the third act, it's kinetic. It's brightly lit, so you can see what's going on. And you do get like good character moments. I was really digging the moment they're going up in the elevator and they just start boomboxing or beatboxing.
Literally the best moment of the entire movie.
It's so and Jonathan Liebsman, to his credit, just lets them cook, lets the moment simmer. I wish there was more stuff like that in this movie, and less like April was our savior, and
I mean
the business guy, and all
but
that.
also just credit to the 4 motion capture people that worked with the Turtles. You got Alan Richardson before he was big. Like, if you saw pictures of Alan Richardson while he was promoting this movie, he was a skinny dude.
Before he got Reacher size. Before he mutated into Jack Reacher.
Yeah, basically. Pete Polsek, Jeremy Howard, and Noel Fisher are the other actors that brought these turtles to life. However, Pete, who did Leonardo, he was in this first movie. He was replaced voice-wise with Johnny Knoxville for some stupid fucking reason.
That is that is painfully. Yeah, that's painfully a weird casting choice because the moment you hear it, you're like, oh, it's Johnny Knoxville as a turtle. Okay.
I mean, was it like stunt casting just to capture you?
Yeah, it was stunt casting.
Okay,
it was 100% stunt casting.
David Hyde Pierce as Abe Sapien in the original Hellboy.
Yes.
That was fucking inspired casting, though. And he was also the amazing Screw-On head from the cartoon. Yeah,
but,
it was.
But when it came to the sequel, Pete took over the voice. And Pete does a decent Johnny Knoxville impression, to be honest.
Serviceable, yeah.
Serviceable,
you could barely tell.
Yeah, I
barely noticed.
It's funny, when I listen to the voices, I'm hearing every iteration of them. When I look at the cast for the first one, I don't know a lot of the actors outside of Johnny Knoxville, so I'm sorry. Ken, you'll probably have to pick this up for me. Johnny Knoxville does okay. I wouldn't call it phoned in, but I don't know whether he got the direction he needed to embody what the Leonardo
100%.
character is supposed to represent.
It felt a lot like his character in Men in Black 2. I'm going to be perfectly honest. Like, it was just like the moment that I heard the voice and it was like, oh, that's Johnny Knoxville. It was just, I just could not stop picturing him as that alien in Men in Black 2.
Yeah, like, and it's funny because Johnny Knoxville can act when he's given a good script and a good direction, but here it's just like, okay, Johnny, you're a turtle, you're Leonardo, watch some cartoons, maybe read some comic books. We'll do it on the day of. And
there's a movie that he did in the mid-aughts, I want to say. It might have been like right before the 2020s. That is called We Summon the Darkness, where he played a really satanic preacher type. That was like he was the preacher that was disguised in front of his mask,
I
but
remember seeing
behind the
trailers
scenes
for that.
It was not. It wasn't the best movie because you can kind of call the twist a mile away. That said, though, he is phenomenal in that movie, and he is scary in that movie. So Knoxville can absolutely act. I mean, there's no doubt about that.
And he's a physical performer too.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's got the concussions to prove it. He can't get another one, or else we might lose him.
Yeah.
It's like when I hear Raphael, that's pretty much every Raph you've ever heard, with the exception. It's not Rob Paulson, which is fine. It is what it is. I don't mind. It's not Sean Austin Green either.
I do like Alan Richardson as Raph. Honestly,
it works. I mean, he's got.
You can tell he's a good actor behind it.
Yeah, exactly.
I know you said Alan Richardson, but man, for a second there, I was just like, Alan Rickman. Alan Rickman is Raphael. Man, that is a universe that I would love to just spend a day in.
Yes. Oh my god. Donatello, I feel, is just kind of there.
Yeah.
Again, fine, but doesn't stand out. Works.
Yeah.
Fits the puzzle piece that it needs to. Michelangelo in almost every version of the Turtles is the standout. Him and Raph tend to be the most iconic voices. Everybody else, they service their roles. They're great, but Mike and Raph tend to stand out more often than not.
They have the central plots because you've got the goofy one and you've got the angry one, which I think are what people relate to, obviously. So I think that's why they kind of hone in on that because, I mean, even going back to the original theatrical of like Secret of the Ooze and the self-titled and whatnot, all of those were central plots with Michelangelo and Raphael. I mean, Raphael is literally kidnapped twice.
And I get the very enthusiastic, youthful energy. I get the playfulness. I think in almost every version of the Turtles, Mike is the best developed character or feels like it's the audience connection. And I really appreciate that, especially here in the kind of Bayverse movies. I guess
Noel Fisher does a decent job as Mikey. I think I'm not a fan of some of the jokes they used him for.
Yeah, some of those are a little childish even for him. Yeah. I guess moving down
I was also going to say a little rapey.
Yeah.
A little?
Mind you, O'Neill. All right, Dave, what about you, buddy? What was your first experience with this?
So I was fully, versed in turtle lore of the original run of those theatrical movies. Well, the one that I think 3 went direct to video, or did they go to theaters? I can't remember.
It did go to theaters, yes.
They did go to theaters. Okay, yeah. So the three theatrical outings, that's what I grew up with. I was aware of TMNT, the animated movie, had not seen it. Really wasn't on my radar much because it wasn't really being talked about by this point. And then it was the announcement of the director that I just went, oh shit, we're in trouble. And no shade to Liebsman. I don't think he's a bad director, but when you have the guy stepping up to the helm of the Turtles who just did Battle Los Angeles and Texas Chainsaw Massacre at the beginning, is that really the guy you want directing?
Or the sequel to the very good American Ring reboot.
Oh yeah, he did Rings. Oh god, I forgot about that. I think everybody forgot about Rings. But yeah, it was just that announcement. I was just like, oh shit, we're in trouble here. And then the other thing that kind of kept me away from it at first was, if you are a movie fan and you look into lore of bad productions, of troubled productions, all that stuff, you will always notice that usually those have more than one writer. If you go to a movie and you're looking at the credits and 3 to 4 writers pop up, you can automatically assume that this movie had trouble. So when I see that there's not only 3 writers on here, but technically 5 because of the original, writers of the creators of the Turtles and whatnot, it was just like, oh, this is in trouble. So I quote unquote sailed the high seas to watch this when it came out. I did not pay money for it, and I was very, I don't want to say I was open-minded, but I was open to letting it prove me wrong, and it didn't. It was just the turtle design I did not like. Edgelord Shredder was not great. I absolutely hate this lore of April being involved in the turtle's life in this way. It was not a movie that I really wanted to go back to until this podcast, because it was just like, it's been about a decade or so, it was some change. So, maybe I'll give it another look, which also got me to watch the second one, which we'll get into. But overall, I don't love base turtles. I appreciate them for what they tried. Overall, though, I just think, as I've already said, the design of these things is just not good. I don't like this humongous reptilian creature that is supposed to be hiding in the city and fighting and not being caught on camera. It's just like, honey, there's a Titan outside. Let me grab my camera real quick. Like, how are these things literally escaping being photographed and
Or
recorded? Or heard, for that matter. Yeah, I mean, literally, like, I can't imagine this turtle weighs less than 300 pounds. So you're telling me this thing is lightning quick on its feet and can do flips? My ass. So, yeah, I don't dislike them.
The Bay excuse is ninja.
Hey,
yeah,
although in a defense of being a fat fuck, when I was 300 pounds and had 2 legs, I could move pretty quietly. But still, these things have, like, they're easily rocking over 500 pounds, and those shells.
The shells
gonna
are
make noise.
I hate the shells. Like, honestly, if their size wasn't, if the size wasn't the problem, it's the size of the shell. Like, the size of the shell just looks like 2 sizes too many. But I will say, as a positive, some positives to these, I do think the casting is interesting. I don't think it's necessarily good, but I think it's interesting. I think they did try with the casting. I really do like Tony Shalhoub as Splinter. I will say,
Agreed.
I think surprisingly, Monk is actually really good as being a giant rat. I love the fact that I mentioned this in the chat offline, that they got both Will Arnett and Will Feitner to be in a movie together, even though I don't think the two's paths really ever cross much except for the final scene. But overall, though, it's not one I'll probably go back to. I have it in my voodoo now forever, so if I ever get a craving for it, I can go back to it. But yeah, I think overall it was nice to revisit these. Well, revisit one and finally see the second one. But overall, I think this first one just has a lot of things against it that I just cannot get over.
All right, so Ken, what do you got?
Well, I was working at the theater at the time, so I saw both of these in theaters for free because movies.
Movie theater perk.
Humble brag.
Yeah. Oh, little rich boy.
Yeah, little rich boy over here.
What? And then, speaking of the whole voodoo thing, my journey to actually watch these was a pain in the ass, because it was like, all right, I want to see these in a relatively good fashion. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to make sure I can see this at least in the best way possible to give it the best shake. And then it was like, okay, the only way I was like, okay, I'll just buy it on like Apple or something. Nope, you have to have an Apple device in order to pay for it on Apple TV, which is really, really annoying.
That's fucking weird.
Yeah, that's stupid.
Which would have been my preferred method. And then secondly, Voodoo, which is now Fandango at Home, still call it Voodoo. Fuck
yeah,
me.
I will never stop calling it Voodoo. Good luck even trying to get me to do that.
The problem is the Google TV app is busted and does not function properly. So I had to boot up the Xbox and then go into the Fandango at Home app and then purchase it.
Weird set of fucking hoops you had to jump through. That's so strange.
So apologies if my mic sounds better now. I didn't realize I was going through my headphones until I was looking at the settings just now. So hey, if my voice just magically improved, sorry about that.
You've been exposed to mutagen. That's what happened.
I found the ooze, guys. It works.
But then it was the fact that it's like, okay, I was like, all right, I could probably just buy the bundle. The bundle got delisted and won't be relisted until a month, like a couple of weeks from when we're recording this. For apparently.
So when you say it got relisted, is that in physical media or what happened?
So on Voodoo, I go to the bundle.
Yeah,
and it says you cannot purchase this bundle it will be back on like April 7th or something.
That's
stupid
so
like that.
so funny thing. Really off topic, but real quick. That relates to that. I have a wish list on my Fandango, obviously, because I want to keep there's stuff that I want to buy, but like I'm not going to pay $24.99 like they're asking for it. So I wait for it to go on sale. So I use my wish list. Recently, there was a movie that came out from Dimension Extreme from Jamie Blanks. I think it's Jamie Blanks, who we just tragically lost recently. The director of Valentine and Urban Legend, called Storm Warning, that he did for Dimension Extreme. And it was on Vudu for a good, like, this last 6 months, and then it just vanished. Like, I went to my wish list the other day till I was like, oh, yeah, because it was like a $7 title, so I was like, I'm going to grab that. And I couldn't find it, so then I searched it in, and yeah, it's currently unavailable. So, yeah, sometimes you got to jump on that stuff, but also they can take it away at any moment. So, once again, kids, this is why physical media is kind of the premium at this point.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Preaching to the choir.
It also doesn't help that Paramount and Lionsgate are the only two major studios that don't support movies anywhere.
Well, it goes without saying that you may think that just because they have been released and they have been put on disc and stuff that they are going to be available.
Oh, no.
Great example is we recently lost Chuck Norris, so I've been going back through some of his movies, just kind of revisiting stuff just to see how it holds up. And if you want to get a copy of the film Lone Wolf McQuade, you're going to pay anywhere between $40 to $70 and up.
Jesus.
Yep. Sounds about right.
It like Scorpion Releasing put out a Blu-ray some years ago, and that fucker is up to $70 because I was going to grab it the other night, and I was just like, well, I don't like the movie that much.
That's not worth that much money.
It's a good movie, don't be wrong, but I mean, this is a prime example as to why I will preach on my soapbox for a second, that if there are movies that you like, if you listen to this podcast and you think, man, these guys like movies, then listen to these guys when we say that if there is a movie that you like that you want to always have access to, that may be on your Amazon Prime account, maybe in your Fandango, get it on disc. Protect yourself, get it on disc, especially in the times right now with these murders and shit. Stuff can vanish. So if you want to protect yourself and protect your interest and your entertainment, buy physical media. Here endeth my soapbox.
Yeah. I mean, I will always be a proponent of that, because I usually go around and buy like my top 5 favorite films of the year and make sure they're in my physical collection.
Oh, I mean, if K-pop hadn't been announced by Criterion, I was already eyeing a couple boots. I mean, you're talking to the guy that loves Ricochet so much, the movie with John Lithgow and Denzel Washington. I had a custom Blu-ray made for me because it's only available on a crappy HBO DVD. And I'm not kidding. Like, I have art on the disc. Like, I paid $25 for someone to print and burn me a copy of Ricochet on Blu-ray.
Well, we'll have to talk about that movie at like some point, because I think I've seen it. I think I really enjoyed it.
We could have a Lithgow discussion, or we could have a trash 90s cinema discussion in multiple volumes.
I like that. Put the pin in trash 90s. Put a pin in that. I like that.
Absolutely.
All right, there. So, Ken, I guess, what were your initial thoughts when you first saw this in theaters? For free, Rich Boy.
This was a waste of my time.
Wow. But not a waste of your money.
Not a waste of my money. However, not the worst thing I've ever seen for free. But
wow, what an endorsement.
I think we all can say that at some point.
Well, when we eventually get to Prometheus, we'll talk about that.
Yeah, bro, I just do not understand. I mean, I know people dislike it, but man, I think going back now, given I've seen it like 3 times, but I think going back to that movie, there's a lot to like.
I might enjoy it. I might enjoy it on a second watch. I don't fucking know, but it's this first Bay film is just really painful to watch in the first like 2 acts. This third act, I'm like, yeah, no, this is still fun. And I still said that when I first saw it. I'm like, the third act's fun, but like the first 2 acts are atrocious. Also, Splinter looks like ugly as sin in the first movie.
Yeah, the design definitely
Splinter scares the absolute piss out of would scare the piss out of a little kid. To be honest.
So when
I do like Tony Shalhoub as
Tony Shalhoub
Splinter's
so
great.
good as Splinter. No, like I just his voice demeanor immediately grabbed me to where it was just like, man, that's a good Splinter.
Yeah, great voice.
I will say, despite the hatred around this movie, when I went back to rewatch this the other night, I had an epiphany. This is low to mid-tier Marvel. And what do I mean by that is, it's watchable, it's entertaining in parts consistently. It doesn't really have less than 5 standout moments. I'd say maybe 3. Definitely the beatbox scene, Shredder, Edgelord armor, and probably the fight at the end. If I had to pick 3 points.
What did you like about Shredder? Because you had said in the chat that you
I love
did
his
not
design.
feel. Yeah.
Yeah, I love his design, but I don't like the man of Shredder. And what I mean by that is, the Shredder in the original TMNT.
There's a guy in that suit?
Yeah. The guy who portrays Oroku Saki in this movie doesn't have the screen presence. He looks like a generic Yakuza goon. There's no physicality.
It's probably because they cast him at the last minute.
Added in post, yeah.
Yeah, like there's no screen presence to him being in charge.
I forget he's in the movie. Like I legitimately forget he's in this movie because Shredder is such a presence. Like I know I joked about when we talked about the theatricals that like the second one is kind of like Shredder's just hanging around and then gets super at the end. With this, it's just like I literally forget he is in this movie until that last 20 minutes.
Yeah, like when I look at what Shredder should represent, he's supposed to be this mastermind ninja coming over from Japan to reestablish the Foot Clan and everything. I don't get that from him. And when I look at the villain problem of this movie, Shredder, it's an obvious thing. When he gets his armor, I really like the design. I think it's a little bit impractical at times, but I like the look. I really do.
What you don't like the millions of knives for hands?
See, I like millions of knives for hands, but they don't make sense from a weapon standpoint.
Millions of knives for hands, and let's not forget the lack of cape that is just kind of something that looks like a fucking 90s wrestler would be wearing, basically.
Well, he's not the Shockmaster, but we're not far off.
I'm just like my biggest issue.
He looks like somebody said, "What if Darth Vader had knives?"
Yeah,
I would go a step further and say he looks like what if we gave Freddy Krueger a superhero outfit?
Yeah,
and we already got that with Super Freddy and Nightmare 5, but this is like 2014's superhero Freddy outfit at this point. So I wish if there was one thing with his character or his presence in this that I would fix, I wish we got a scarier intro of him.
Yeah, like show me why he's Billy Badass, not just
show me he's back. Like, I mean, I know because is it the next movie where he escapes?
Yeah,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, because he doesn't escape in this one, so it's just like show me a presence that is, like I just killed a guy, or I'm going to like kill this family like with testing the gas out or whatnot. Which like also you mentioned Marvel. It really dawned on me watching this yesterday that they combined the villain's big, evil plan as being basically a culmination of 1989's Batman with the balloons, just sands the balloons and have the gas, and also the Tesseract battle at the end of Avengers.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I don't know, like another big problem again, and I'm a lore person, but I also enjoy the animated versions of Turtles. My first experience with the character of Karai was from the 2012 series, where she was sort of a foil to Leonardo. She's Shredder's daughter. She's supposed to be a character who has a lot of personal conflict, loyalty issues. There should be a really good story there. Here, hi, I'm an Asian woman with dyed hair. I am ninja. Rar. And it sucks that you have such a cool character sideline. At least in the original Ninja Turtle movies, Tetsuo was a physical threat and had personality. Yeah. Other than Karai being, hi, I have dyed hair. Can you tell me anything about her? And that's
I didn't even know it was Karai, to be honest.
Is there a body count in this movie?
I don't know. I don't.
I actually don't even think they kill anyone.
I don't think they kill anyone. Like that literally just dawned on me.
I will match your question and raise another one. How did they take Shredder into custody when he falls off the top of the building and lands
I
on
guess they-
street level at the
We
end.
didn't see the
I
we
guess
didn't see
he's
the turtle
unconscious.
pad. We didn't see the blow up turtle shell that he falls into, and the cops surround him with their guns. Like just,
Also,
like that.
also
Clearly,
to be
we just
fair,
didn't see
he
that.
was. Also, to be fair, he was in like a robot suit. So
He had to
No,
whip
no,
down
no,
out
no,
of
no.
him.
He was in a suit made of knives. We've already established.
Yes,
that.
yes.
If you
And that-
fall on a suit made of knives, guess what? You get cut.
I think if you fall on a suit full of beanbags, you're gonna get killed falling from that high.
You're still gonna get cut.
yeah, you're dead. You're a splat on the pavement, to be honest.
But what I did like about this movie, and I really mean this genuinely, I like how this is more of an April story with one glaring problem. And it's one that Ken pointed out. Yeah, to me, it's mostly one. This is what really irks me about this. When they changed the origin of the Turtles where April has this connection, that's unnecessary. I get why it was done, because that's just how modern screenwriting tends to go. Like they want to keep it simple. They want to have something that can easily be explained. Okay, sure. It's
That was insultingly simple, though. Like that's insulting to the viewer. I will say. Like,
Yeah.
the whole realization of her meeting them, quote unquote, for the first time. And like then going back and watching that video, like when she puts the names together, it's just like you imagine a writer behind a fucking computer being like, "Man, the kids are gonna love this."
The
And it's just like,
reaction
no.
of her roommate is exactly the reaction.
I love the reaction of her roommate.
Oh.
Her roommate's reaction when she's like sounding like Charlie Day and Always Sunny, like with the red string. It's perfect. I love that.
Yeah.
Now,
it is fantastic.
Now I don't know whether April's roommate is supposed to be Irma from the original show. I might suspect that's a callback. And to talk about callbacks for just a second here, I love how Will Arnett is Vern, the cameraman from the original Ninja Turtles, who was always kind of a douchebag coward, but he wasn't a bad guy. But he's more likable here as Will Arnett because that's fucking Batman. I'm fine. With
that is BoJack
And Joe-
Horseman, sir.
Excuse me, I think you mean Joe Bluth.
That's right. It's always money in the banana stand. I also.
It's an illusion, Michael. A trick is something a whore does for money.
God,
I love it. My God, I love that show. I will say, having Byrne as Whoopi Goldberg was a choice.
It was a choice.
It's not bad. It's also just like, did you do this because you wanted to be in a Turtles movie, or did you do this as a favor? Because there's no in between.
She talked about how during the promotion of the first movie, how she was a Turtles fan.
I feel like though, if you have that big of an actor, though, she has to be in it more. I mean, like, I feel like maybe there's scenes cut, which we don't need them, but like, was her character more central to this at some point? Because that's just a really big person to put in this small of a cameo.
I kind of feel like they were recording next door to The View, and like Miss Goldberg.
Yeah, probably.
That could be it, yeah. I mean, and also, now that I think about it, I mean, you could say that she is still a big actor, but that this is not, like, peak 90s Whoopi, so maybe I'm kind of tooting my own horn here on that one.
We'll have to do the cinematic odyssey of Whoopi Goldberg at some
Bro,
point.
I love some of her movies, and so full on confession, never seen Sister Act 2. Love Sister Act, but I've never seen Sister Act 2, and I've heard Sister Act 2 is phenomenal.
We'll have to do a sequels we've never seen, because I've never seen Blade Runner 2049, so maybe there's an idea.
2049 is actually
I think we're gonna have an intervention episode with some of these confessions about stuff people have not seen.
Was it Sister Act 2? Was Sister Act 2 the straw that broke the camel's back?
It was
Sister
Act 2,
and I was just like, I can't stand this.
And then Mike's like, I haven't seen Blade Runner 2049. It's like, well, it's only the thing that like took Denis Villeneuve to the next level. You don't get Dune without Blade Runner 20. But I digress.
I mean, I love that cinematic
real quick,
intervention.
2049 gets a bad rep, I think, for its runtime. But if you know what you're getting into with that movie is such a cool breeze of sci-fi and grittiness.
I never feel a runtime. I hate long runtimes, but I never feel it on that one.
Yeah, no, that one just washes over me.
I literally saw the movie 3 times in theaters.
Oh wow.
I unfortunately missed it in theaters because another confession, I'm not the biggest Blade Runner fan of the first movie. I think I probably need to just watch one cut and because no joke, every time I've watched it for the last 3 times I've watched it, I've watched a different cut to be like, maybe this will hit me better.
Oh boy. But yeah, like I don't know. Like I said, I like how this feels more like an April movie, and I don't mind that because Megan Fox, I will say, outside of being an astoundingly beautiful woman, when she wants to do something fun, I really feel it from this. Like she's like, you know what, I'm gonna have fun with this.
No,
and the script was significantly better.
She's having a good time. I hate her costume design in both movies. All of her costumes suck.
See, I don't mind it.
I don't mind it. I mean, like, I have fun with this version of April. I mean, it's not the April that...
Yeah, no, I don't hate the
weird.
character. I hate her... Especially in the first one, the costume design just kind of
It was
irked
simple.
me.
It was just there. It was every day going down to Macy's.
She felt like she was dressing younger than she was. And that's what bothered me.
What do you mean by that?
Like, she feels like she's dressing as if she were still in her teens.
I would say college, but I can potentially see that.
She is college.
Yeah.
But like my issue is she feels like she's like high school into college, not just out of college.
But I mean, are you wanting like how I guess, and this is a gray area, so we can go past this real quick. How are you wanting her to dress? Are you wanting to see her in like the yellow jumpsuit, or like, I mean, what does that mean?
I would rather have seen her in the yellow jumpsuit.
See, I like her yellow jacket. I think that's a nice reference.
I like yellow jacket.
That's supposed to be a callback,
yeah.
I
don't know. There are things with her. Yeah, sorry, Ken. Go on.
I also just like I think what really irked me was like the way her bike helmet was and like riding the bike. I'm just like,
I mean, I feel like more so what I really like about this version of April is they both lean into her girl power side and her goofy side simultaneously, and it's not insulting.
And she's a real reporter. She's a real reporter.
She's a real reporter. But I mean, like, she's not in the sewer being like, "Oh my God, turtles! I dropped all these eggs that I was carrying for some." Like, they didn't like do anything like that.
The scene where she goes to the dock and she sees the Foot Clan like stealing the cargo container. Her first call is not to the police; it is to the newsroom.
Yeah,
that is legit journalism.
That is April O'Neil.
Oh yeah. No, I mean, she is definitely a reporter in this. Absolutely.
Although she's a bad reporter because she doesn't bring an extra cell phone battery. If I've learned anything from going to council with Adam, is you bring your power cord and you are fucking ready to go.
You have 2 cameras. You have a full charge on your phone. You have a pen and paper for when all else fails.
Man, you need to go the extra mile typewriter. Just grab the typewriter.
Resident Evil style typewriter. But yeah, like I don't know. Like I said, there are just parts about this I genuinely enjoy. Like even some of the fights, when they happen and when they're well lit, I feel the impact. If anything, the Turtles' design in this movie, you feel the physicality. Because if Raph hits you, that's like getting hit by a bus. That's gonna suck.
Yeah.
When they're doing the training sequence where it shows them kind of growing up and learning to use their different weapons, that's some really cool looking. I don't know if it's authentic martial arts, but the motion capture or whatever it is looks great. Like they're flipping around, they're moving. Donatello in all the movies, this is the most competent he looks with his bow staff.
100%.
No, they nailed the theme song like things for regards to what each turtle does. No, they nailed that. I think my biggest issue is I remember more of the human side of this movie versus the turtles. Like I remember the elevator scene, of course, because they put that in the trailers. I remember their training montage, and I remember a couple of their fights, but like it's not much versus the next movie where they really shell it up and put them in there a lot. But like I feel like that's also a strength of this movie is that it didn't rely on the turtles to make a turtle movie, which I do respect in an aspect because that is a bold choice to make, but it is also movies that we've seen as of recent, the last decade or so, where it's just like they make a movie that is this movie, but like the way that they tell the story, it's not a straight up superhero story, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, and because like I remember for years upon years, it still hasn't happened yet, where they want to make a Spawn movie, but Spawn's not the highlight of the movie. This is very much like that, in my opinion. Let's say it's an April story first and foremost, with the Turtles as support characters until the third act, which again, fine. I don't know. There's just parts about this I really connect with. I think the William Fitcher evil businessman storyline's a little bit stupid. Sure. I killed your dad, April.
Knowing he was originally going to be Shredder kind of answers a lot of the queries of what
it
the
does,
fuck
but at
happened.
that point, you need to really redirect this character so we don't see that that's what happened. But at the same time, knowing how studios work, that's not going to happen. As I get older and I've been really like leaning into going back to stuff that like I grew up with and whatnot, I've adopted a mantra to where it is basically it's not unwatchable, but it is forgettable, and that's how this movie feels to me. It's just like I don't want to be harsh on a movie because it just didn't age well for me. It's like maybe I'm not the audience anymore, and I kind of have to look at that. So it's just like with some of these movies, especially, it's just been like, oh no, like this is fun, like I'm enjoying it, like it's watchable, but like I'm not going to remember much of it.
I will say this: when I look at
it's why it gets like a 3-star rating for me, where it's like, you can watch it, you're not going to remember it in like a day or two.
See, when I compared this to lower to mid-tier Marvel, I would rather watch this movie over Thor: The Dark World. It's not saying much. I'd rather watch this over The Eternals twice. I hate that movie.
I hate Eternals.
And I would watch this over Spider-Man Far From Home.
I think we brought up Eternals before on the show. I'm not getting back into it, but my opinion will not change on Eternals.
I think me and Adam are on the other side of that.
And you know what? I'm happy that you both.
It's okay to be wrong. It's okay to be wrong.
I'm happy that you both get enjoyment from that movie because I just did not.
I don't know if I get enjoyment. I haven't watched it since it was in the theaters, but what I appreciate is that it took a swing.
Yes.
It named the character Icarus that flew into the fucking sun. I rest my case.
That's right.
Plus Angelina Jolie. But yeah, like overall, I'd say
she was the best part of that movie.
I forgot she was in that movie till you just said that. That's how much Eternals has just error 404'd in my brain.
There's some damn goofy stuff. There's some damn goofy stuff in that movie, like the scene where they're all like they're having a meal and they're sitting around talking about who's going to lead the Avengers again. And I'm like, there's no way these people have been around for 7,000 years give a shit about who's leading the Avengers, having lived through, eons of history. Having lived in the Hanging Gardens of Babylon, they don't give a shit about the Avengers. But that's neither here nor there.
Yes.
I genuinely I want to say this. I genuinely appreciate that you like that movie, and I'm happy that you do. And that's not a slight. I really want to let you know that's not a slight. I'm happy that you appreciate that movie, and we'll leave it with that.
The thing about the Bayverse Turtles too, as my
what we're here to talk about,
is that I think it overcorrected at times. It leaned a little too much into certain trends at the time. And the movie suffered for it. Had there been a redesign of the physicality of the Turtles, I think that might have helped. I don't think it would have overshone anything. A better, more integrated version of Shredder would have been better. Like, get rid of evil businessman. Beyond that, I don't think there's much I would actually change. Like I said, I like that it's an April 1st movie. I do. I love the supporting cast. I truthfully, if I had to make one drastic change, and it's only because I'm a lore nerd, I would have dropped Karai and just given a new version of Tetsuo or just some Foot Clan goon.
Yeah, some generic goon.
Yeah, because to sideline a character of that importance to the lore of Shredder and the Turtles is a disservice. And for those of us who know, like people like me that are huge fans, it's distracting. So everything else I would leave on as is. Would it require some reshoots? Probably extensively. But overall, I enjoyed it more than what I thought. Like typically, when I watch a movie, that's it. I stick with that rating. Since I've started working with you guys, and I've been friends with you guys for like years upon this point, Ken more than a decade now, I'm willing to reevaluate stuff, because as I grow up and my film tastes change and my opinions change, this is a movie that I think deserves a little bit more reevaluation. I don't think it deserves the hate that it gets, but it is low to mid-tier superhero. And as Dave and Ken, you guys have kind of hinted at, it is kind of forgettable, but it's not offensively bad as I think it was told in 2014. So with that all being said, let's talk about TMNT Out of the Shadows. This is the sequel that came out a couple of years later. This one, I remember, again, still had a pretty good relationship with Playmates at this time, so I got all the toys. What excited me is when I started getting the toys, I started seeing some of the bad guys, and I was like, there's fucking Bebop and Rocksteady? What the fuck is this? I was really into WWE at the time. One of my favorite wrestlers was Sheamus, who plays Rocksteady. And I was like, that's fucking awesome. The guy who yells fella and gives the bro kick and all that shit, that's cool. Weird casting, but sure, my man. And I was like, okay, I'm in. Then I saw the toy for Krang, and I'm thinking, holy shit, they're actually going to fucking do Krang? Is it going to be Pat Fahey as the voice? It wasn't. And then I got...
Garrett did a decent job.
Yeah, he wasn't bad. And then we got the Technodrome, which I never thought I'd ever see in live action. Is it a terrible Technodrome? No. I think it looks, for a real life adaptation. Yeah, that's cool. The fact that we got that, it has the big spiky electric gun at the front, neat. It hit all the notes that I wanted it to. Baxter Stockman's my favorite bad guy in the entire franchise. We didn't get him turning into the Fly. We didn't see him do the Mausers.
No, but Tyler Perry just leans into this role so much, so well that it's fun, man.
You can tell Tyler Perry is a huge Turtles fan, and he was super excited to do this.
Yeah, like, and that's what I want in my movie.
Unlike Laura Linney.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. She's just
I like Laura Linney. Leave Laura Linney alone.
She's doing a good job in this movie, but she is getting a paycheck.
Well, I mean, this was
pay on my car.
Big C was earlier than this. What was she? She was doing something during this, because Laura Linney had her comeback, and then it stayed hyping for a good bit.
Was she on True Detective or something like that, or?
Well, she had her show where she had cancer, which is called The Big C, which I watched most of, and that was
Blair
like
loves that
2010.
show. Yeah.
Yeah, and then let's see here. So she was
it was after The Big C. This movie.
Yeah, Big C had wrapped in 2013. So yeah, this was just kind of a comeback for her movie.
For Ozark too. It's between Big C and Ozark.
Yeah. And she also, was doing big movies too, like Nocturnal Animals, Sully. So she was doing the Turtles movie as well as this stuff. So I think that Brad Garrett as Krang is one of the most 90s fucking things about this movie that I just loved so much on this watch. No, on this first
and what
watch.
was and,
and
what
so
I remember
too.
and what I remember specifically was that they hid Krang in the marketing.
Yeah,
for this movie. If you didn't follow the toys, you had no idea Krang was in the movie.
You might have, from one of the trailer shots, you do see them fighting in the Technodrome for half a second. But yeah, it's very
barely in the trailers.
Yeah,
no, I mean that's a pretty cool reveal. I will say I wish this is one that I would have seen in theaters, but it was just like I said, I was so against that first one that I was being a little bitch and just didn't, go and bite the bullet and see the turtle. There's times I go back on my decisions in life with movies and being like, I didn't want to see that. And it's just like, why are you such a little bitch sometimes? Like, just go see the movie. Like, the worst it's going to be is a bad movie, David. It's not going to derail your entire year. Like, oh my God, Out of the Shadows was just so awful. I'm just going to be depressed this entire... that's not going to happen. Like, I need to
So this is the same summer Independence Day Resurgence came out. So if there was one sequel that was going to disappoint you...
God. Why did that movie have to be so bad?
And
hey, I've seen some very bad movies on purpose. Like, I sat through Minecraft in theaters.
Yeah.
Maybe Resurgence is what started giving me the legacy sequel fatigue, honestly, looking back now.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, I could see that. I could. When I went into this was Turtle Mania was really starting to pick up in certain regards. TMNT 2012 was, I think, coming to an end pretty soon. There was the announcement of Mutant Mayhem. Like, there was like talk this was going to happen. The video game Mutants in Manhattan would be out on the Xbox by this time. There was a couple more video games announced. So the property was fairly high visibility at this time. And my big problem is when I went back and watched this morning, like this is literally fresh in my memory. This movie is very toy centric. And I think that's kind of a problem. It takes away from, this is going to sound really goofy when I say it out loud. It takes away from the groundedness of the first Michael Bay movie. And I think that's kind of an issue because having the turtle van of itself, not a problem. Shooting manhole covers, sure, you need to have weapons. Okay, fine. I get that.
That was straight from the
giant
arm nunchucks.
Nunchucks, that's where I'm like, okay. And then it throws swords. I'm like, okay.
Like I said, it literally felt like the most '90s entry because you got Garrett as Krang, you've got them building a freaking Megazord, and it's just like it was exactly what I wanted from a Ninja Turtles movie, and I guess that's why I really did enjoy it versus that first one.
Also, Bebop and Rocksteady, like, where'd they get that tank that they're plowing through the Brazilian rainforest in?
I think it was on board the plane. I think.
Yeah, it was on board the plane.
You're not going to drive it.
Why is it on the board? Well, also
you could. I mean, you're not going to, but you could.
Not at all practical.
That's not practical. I didn't say it was practical. You said you're not going to. I said could.
This is one of the first films that I'm like, oh, this is just a live action cartoon.
Yes, and that's what I was going to go with this. This nails the vibe of the 87 cartoon in ridiculousness, tries to add a little bit of maturity with some of the storytelling from 2003.
And the grittiness is still there too for the 2016.
Yeah, so there's enough there that this movie's really likable in certain regards. The fact that we finally got Bebop and Rocksteady, you know that was an overcorrection, which is fine. Yes. They're great.
Yeah.
I think I don't know. I kind one of the it's such a minor thing, but I really like it how Rocksteady calls Bebop Beebs. It's such a small thing, but I like that camaraderie that they have.
I mean, Bebop is already a nickname. His mom didn't call him Bebop.
Yeah. Like again, I dig that. The introduction of Casey Jones, maybe a little heavy-handed at times, especially when he's walking with the mask on.
It definitely
Stacey
definitely feels like, hey kids, here's Casey Jones. Are we all happy now? Like it like he is.
It's Arrow.
Amel is good casting though. Amel is good casting.
Oh, good casting, but like his Casey Jones does really fuck all in this movie, in my opinion.
Yeah,
he does hockey stick tricks, and okay, cool. He was only there, in my opinion, because of Arrow, which is fine.
Yeah,
he may be a huge Turtles fan, and maybe he advocated to get this role. Again, fine.
I believe he did actually. Come to think of it.
Which it's funny. Weird side story for Twig. I was interviewing Joe Manganiello back in 2009, 2010.
I remember.
Yeah. So I said to him, this is when the Turtles movie was announced, was back in 2009 to 2010. And I said, hey, dude, why aren't you auditioning for Casey Jones? And he's like, what? I'm like, dude, you're fucking Flash Thompson. You've got the physicality for it. Why are you not Casey Jones? Joe Manganiello, in my opinion, would have been a better Casey Jones. And I will die
by that point.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, I guess he'd be a little. But then again, it's not like Elias Koteas was a spring chicken either. But still, whatever.
I mean, Elias Koteas has always looked like a 45-year-old man.
Yeah, that's true. He's got like Lou Diamond Phillips. He's one age. I am Elias Koteas. I am Lou Diamond Phillips.
But he can also do any goddamn thing he wants to. Like Elias Koteas just has a presence to him where it's just like it can be him, but he can be a completely different character. He acts like a motherfucker in the movie Fallen. If you've never seen Fallen with Denzel Washington,
you can have garbage 90s.
And also,
hey,
just
I don't think it's that
credit,
garbage, but you're
just
not
going to
wrong.
give credit to Gary Anthony Williams playing Bebop. Like,
he's great.
Those guys are great. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Like honestly, when it comes to the supporting characters in this movie, no notes. I mean, well, I guess Laura Linney. I wish she had a little bit more to do. It would have been nice, or at least not be, I'm going to yell at you every scene I'm in for funsies.
I do like her alliance at the end though. Like when she meets the turtles, it's cheesy as all get out. Don't get me wrong. Like
she knows what movie she's in.
She knows which movie she's in, but she doesn't do it like
deeply regrets it.
Yeah. She doesn't do it in a way that is, oh my God, I can't believe I did this. She's still humble with it, and it still works. So I mean, she's not bad in this movie.
It's
she's
not as over the top as
paycheck.
Whoopi Goldberg was.
Yes.
Which is,
I'll give you that. But I mean, Whoopi has kind of had that setting for a good bit now. I mean, that's kind of what she became known for, especially with like her early '80s action movies, which people forget about, or early '90s action movies.
But
and also props to Brian T as this version of Shredder.
Yep.
Good job. You did a decent job.
Yeah, like Shredder at least feels more like a villain here, but Baxter Stockman does a lot more. Again, that's Tyler Perry. He loves what he does. And as much as people give him shit for the Magda movies, okay, who gives a fuck? But here, I really like you.
You mean Medea?
Medea, whatever. I'm really.
I'll say I like the Tyler Perry movies, the Medea movies, but I will say his fucking great that I still go back to is Acrimony. Acrimony is one of the best erotic thrillers that has come out in like the last decade.
I've never seen it. But yeah,
he's got some interesting stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
absolutely.
I think for this one, for me, you guys have all said it. It's a big live action cartoon. It's kinetic. It's energetic. It flows. It's got every beat you want from the comic books and the television.
The opening
shows.
at the Knicks game with the pizza is such a good opener. Like it reminded me of the experience I had watching Spider-Man: Homecoming for the first time, where it was like, shit, this is a fun movie. Like that, the opening of both of those movies is just fun.
Yeah, that opening feels like a Turtles opening.
And I don't think you could have done that without the 2014 movie paving the way.
Yes.
You needed to have that to start. And even with this being less of an April story, still April and Casey have something to do. Even Vern, the Falcon Fenwick, gets his own little hype thing, which is, I love Will Arnett. That man can do no wrong.
The scene where he's sitting on the couch filling up the bags with air for Falcon breath. Like I chuckled out loud at that scene for about a good 10 seconds.
I like the camera bit too. The camera was funny.
I literally can't believe no one from like the Manosphere has tried to sell their own bag of air.
I'm sure they
so
have.
On the nose.
We just don't know about it. But I mean, like him getting hit with the spitballs at the Knicks game while he's doing his little interview, like his addition to this, like especially when they surround him at the one point and then Mikey and him like punch knuckles and whatnot. It's just the presence of him in these movies is fun, and especially the second one, like he shines. I think that is one thing that I can say about both these movies. I don't think the casting is bad at all.
Oh, no. I think everyone here showed up to play. I mean, even Laura Linney understands the assignment, as we've said. Everyone understands this is a big, silly, goofy cartoon. The Ninja Turtles by this point were 30 years old.
Yeah.
So, like, everyone knows the Turtles. Everyone, is just here to have a good time. And I think that shines through. You can tell when people are making a movie, we're not having a good time. But you can also tell when people making a movie, we're having a good time. And this is an example
and
of
also
that.
Splinter doesn't look like a fucking monster.
There is a bit of an improvement.
Yeah.
There is. I mean, there absolutely is. I think also what I really liked about this one from a whole standpoint versus the second movie is it is trying to be its own thing. Whereas I feel like there's elements. I mean, even IMDb credits the TMNT Michael Bay as a remake of the 90s version. And I'm like, fuck you. No, you're not.
Nope.
The Out of the Shadows is its own thing. I mean, and it really is hilarious that they used that subtitle with the notoriety of the live stage show.
Let's just say this: IMDb trivia is not peer reviewed, so it is what it is.
Oh, I know. Well, believe me, apparently I was on an FX show and played a chef, according to my IMDb resume. I don't know how the hell that happened, but I was on short-lived FX show as a chef, apparently, that is on my resume, and I do not know how to remove it.
You know what? Just take it. Like, were you in this? Sure was.
Sure was. Problem is, I haven't seen the show, so I don't know what this guy looks like. I don't even know.
Did they submit a for your consideration on your behalf?
I don't believe they did. I don't believe they did. But yeah, if anybody's curious and listening to this, yeah, if you go to my IMDb page, you'll see all the movies that I've done with my buddy Enrique Cudo, but also you'll see me credited as a chef or waiter in an FX show that had like I think 8 episodes.
That's amazing. We have to figure a way to parlay this into some success. Try to get you into some weird access stuff. David Dory on the red carpet at the Golden Globes. Hi,
I feel like the show is Low Winter Sun. Let me check.
I know exactly what that show is because it was fucking advertised endlessly during The Walking Dead. Holy shit. Okay, back to Turtles. I guess, Adam, what are your initial thoughts on Out of the Shadows?
The Shadows, yeah, it was fun. I did not when they're expecting Godfather 2 of Ninja Turtles, and I did not get that, and so I was fine. Yeah, no, as we've been saying, I feel like we've reviewed this already. But yeah, it's fun. Again, the big finale, it takes place during a sunny day. It's brightly lit. You can watch the action. I'm not a big, some of the goofier stuff of Ninja Turtles I'm not a big fan of, which includes Krang and Dimension X and the Technodrome. But I mean, it again, everyone's having a good time. It's a little longer than I would have liked.
Yes, you can shave 15. You can shave 15 to 20 out of this easily.
The entire Brazilian excursion is a lot.
Tighten up the turtles fighting amongst each other, like that shit. Like where it was the brothers just getting into a fight. It was just like, come on, guys.
Do we want to be? I mean, I've seen this. Like, we're freaks. Can we become human? I mean, that's been done a million times, and X-Men and other things. But...
Ironically, the runtime difference between what the first one and this one is around 15 minutes.
Yeah,
and you can feel it.
You can feel it.
You can tell.
Yeah.
The entire Brazilian excursion is superfluous, but when this thing's, I mean, Casey Jones could have taken her leave, although I think ML's really good, but I mean, it's just a good time. I remember leaving the theater. It's like this comes out in 2016. It's the same year as Batman versus Superman: Dawn of Justice. I said this once when on my other show, End Credits, we reviewed Justice League way back when. I said this, regardless of your feelings about the artistic cohesion of Justice League or Joss Whedon's humor, I didn't leave Justice League wanting to cut myself, like in the same way I left Batman versus Superman. And I feel like in terms of like comic book...
See,
I still haven't watched it.
I'm an apologist for movies, BVS.
I didn't leave Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows wanting to cut myself. So I actually felt pretty good. Felt like a good time to me. So I'll take it. Thank you. I'll have another.
All right. Dave, what about you? Because you said this is your first time seeing it.
Yeah, This is my first time. I watched these literally back to back. And so as you guys may recall yesterday in the chat, I was not shy about saying, oh my God, this movie is worse than I remembered when it came to the first one. Whereas the second one, I was just like, holy shit, this is fun. I think this is the epitome of a mix, like we said, of the cartoon and those 90s movies. Like, they got a lot of things right with this one. The characters are really, really fun. Even if it is a little long in the tooth, it's not so like abominating to like feel like your time is being wasted or anything. It's like okay guys, come on, like let's speed this up a little bit. But overall, I had fun with it. I think the villains are very strong. I think the characters are great. The action is not in short supply by any stretch. If I was to go back to this movie, I would absolutely see myself doing that more versus the first one. Like it's this is definitely one that I could throw on in the background or put on as I'm winding down for the evening, just for something to something to enjoy. This is definitely a fun movie.
Yeah, agreed. Ken, what about you?
This is much more watchable. It gets bogged down by similar issues with the first one, but it's still a fun watch. That's all I really have to say. I've said my piece about pretty much everything else.
I mean, it's kind of... I think these two movies get bagged on unnecessarily, and Michael Bay's production company, Platinum Dunes, I can say some of their output I actually have genuinely enjoyed.
Mixed bag.
Like, I don't hate everything. And with the turtle stuff, I feel like it's people in my age bracket specifically. We don't want anything to change. And when someone tries something new and unexpected or does things in their own way that doesn't conform to, well, why isn't it like this? We get pissy. Like, I know when, like, as of this recording, because you're hearing this in April, because we are scheduling these now, He-Man comes out in about a month.
Yep.
And I wonder what's going to happen with that.
Fisto. It's all I have to say about Masters of the Universe. Fisto.
I'm excited, and
I hate that scene in the comic book store so much. I'm so tired of seeing that trailer.
It's very bad.
I'm hoping
that I really do hope that that opening bit is just the opening bit, and we don't spend forever on Earth.
I mean, in defense of the movie, Skeletor did rise out of that bubbling brew at the end and say, "I'll be back." I mean, it did take a good bit for them to get us Jared Leto, which you can't even tell.
Which is great. I mean, good for marketing, right? But it's like movies like the Turtles. Actually, Alex had said this to me on a Twig show probably about a week or two ago. We were talking about how the G.I. Joe movie that Max Landis, that guy sucks, had pitched to Paramount. And he said to me, what needs to happen with some of these toy properties, they need to exist in their own logic. They need to be lean into the material as hard as they can and recognize not everything needs to be grounded and gritty. And I feel like the Turtles movies found a good mix of that, especially as Out of the Shadows, like, okay, we've established how the world functions. April's competent. Casey's just kind of there. But now we can start to bring in outside villains like Bebop, Rocksteady, and Baxter. Cool.
I think around 2016 was kind of the turning point where we were getting out of the Dark Knight. Everything has to be serious and gritty.
Yeah. Like, one of the funnest superhero movies, which sucks because the star of this movie now sucks, but Zachary Levi had did Shazam. That was a fucking breath of fresh air, and I really enjoyed it.
Fun.
And
the second one, not so much, but...
Yeah, second one, not so much.
Pretty bad.
I feel when Turtles came back, as you guys were talking about with like Mutant Mayhem, that was a pretty good fun time. And then we got the television series that came out of that, Tales of the TMNT, which was fun, and I really enjoyed it. When the new movie comes out in a couple of years, we'll see what happens. I'm still hoping the last Ronin gets adapted at some point.
Oh, that just got canceled.
I hope somebody revisits that, because even if you made that direct to video, if you did that like a DC animated movie, put some real money behind it, let the market speak for itself. And if it sells really well, then you make a live action version of it. That's what I would do. Or turn it into like a 2-event movie like they did with DC's animated The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Returns, if you really wanted to test the market to see how it goes.
I would love it,
but as we begin to close things out, Dave had suggested let's rank these movies. And when I look at the whole of the Turtles adaptation into media, I think it's pretty obvious 1990 is going to be first. That's the most authentic. It feels the most cohesive. It best represents everything.
See, I would put Mutant Mayhem just above it. Just slightly above it.
Mutant Mayhem is my second for that.
Yeah,
like it's right there, but it's just there's too much great lore in that 90s version. I mean, I get it, and this is just my opinion, of course. There's too much great lore in that 90s version. It is nostalgic for the reasons, and also it just kind of captured the Turtles at the perfect time that was the audience for it.
Like, again, I can flip-flop.
It also beat the odds. It beat the odds. It's
beat
like,
the odds big time.
It's this complicated thing because your four main characters are anthropomorphized turtles. This is pre-CGI, so it's all practical. How do you get them to walk, talk, and look real, and also do like martial arts and emote and all of that stuff? It was low budget. It was an indie film. There were 100,000,001 ways that could have gone wrong, and somehow it all went right. It was lightning in a bottle.
Yeah. I'd say for me in terms of number, yeah. So I would go TMNT 1990, Mutant Mayhem. This one's kind of hard. I'm honestly,
I put TMNT there.
yeah. For me, I'm actually going to put the Bayverse first movie, legitimately. Then I would put TMNT, and the reason, like I said in this podcast, I like how it's a different take. The Turtles are supporting characters, and then they come out in acts, late act 2 and 3. But I like how it gives April more than just, hi, I'm here to be kidnapped. I'm competent. I like that. Then beyond that, my numbers kind of change, but I think the bottom of my turtle pile is Turtles in Time, TMNT 3. And it's just not an enjoyable movie for me. It's a good adventure, but it's not a good Turtles movie to me. Which it is what it is.
I think my listing is just like, I think the third one is a little on par with Out of the Shadows. I had fun with it. It's not it's not just like roll my eyes.
Which one would you rather watch? Turtles 3 or Out of the Shadows?
Oh, Out of the Shadows even. That's why it's my number 4.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Ken, if I don't know what your letterbox settings are for your activity, but you should refresh your page and see if our lists stack on top of each other like mine just did, because I sent it in the chat, and it's kind of hilarious to see where you and I ranked because there's just little differences.
That's funny. But yeah, like, I don't know, like, even upon rewatching Secret of the Ooze, I kind of feel like Secret of the Ooze and Out of the Shadows share a lot of similar DNA. They're different aspects of the Turtles at different times in the fandom. Secret of the Ooze was Turtle Mania. Turtles are selling breakfast cereal with marshmallow nets and fresh from the sewer to your mouth. Whereas TMNT Out of the Shadows is like, okay, you've now grown up. You probably have kids of your own. Here's the Turtles as they exist now. You've had 2003, you've had 2012, and you've had a couple of really good video games. Here's something that's fun that may speak to you, and your kids may also enjoy it too. And that's where I kind of feel 2 and 3 share a lot, or 2 and Out of the Shadows share a lot of similar DNA.
Yeah, that's a fair assessment. I just think Secret of the Ooze, I felt didn't hold up to where I would rank it.
It's a neutered turtle movie. Going back on reappraisal for it. I mean, I have love for it because, like I said on that show, it was the first VHS tape of the Turtles I ever had.
It's a product of its time.
Yeah, I love Ninja Rap. Like, there's things of that movie that have stuck with me. But going back and comparing it side by side with 1990 TMNT, like, it is a neutered fucking movie. Like, the Turtles are not using their weapons until the last, 10 minutes, and even then, they don't even fight Super Shredder. He literally takes the doc down on himself. So, even when they use their weapons, it's in a mid-fight at best. So, I mean, yeah, it's a very silly movie, but yeah, it still worked for me.
My ranking is probably 1990 Mutant Mayhem, TMNT, Out of the Shadows, and depending on the day, it would be 2014 and Secret of the Ooze.
Okay.
Bottom to top, I went TMNT, the Bay version, TMNT 3, the animated TMNT, Out of the Shadows, and then Secret of the Ooze, Mutant Mayhem, and then the OG.
Yeah, so we're all pretty much alignment here with our top couple. Relatively. So
but
this is
I was just like, these are all watchable films.
100%. Yeah.
All 7 of them. Easily watchable. It's just some are more watchable than others.
Yeah, like there's not really a terrible one among them. Like they're all watchable in a different frame of mind. Like you're not going to be like, oh, fuck this again. Except for maybe me and Turtles 3, maybe.
If you had to pick one from each entity, if you had to pick one from the theatrical run and the original, and then go from the animated ones and then from the Bay ones, it's like you could select a movie from each property to make a fun triple feature. And you know what? If I can do that, fucking A, I'm in.
Yeah, like that's a successful adaptation of a character. Now, when you look at another franchise like, say, Hellboy, diminishing returns considering how many.
I still haven't watched Crooked Man. I'm really curious. I'm really curious because
I've only seen bits and pieces.
Maybe that'll be something we'll have to take a look at, is the Mike Mignola Hellboy universe, because I'm a big fan of that, and different adaptations. That's a conversation, I think.
It's an incredible run. It's an incredible run because you get the Del Toro live action ones, you get the two animated ones, you get the Marshall. I want to say Neil Marshall directed one with David Harbour.
Yep.
The Harbour one is the one I really wanted to like.
It has its moments, but
it's just not a good movie.
Why do you hire Mila Jovovich to play a villain and she doesn't do anything?
Nothing.
Physical?
It's a horror. It's a horror roller coaster.
It's a war crime. It's a war crime. You put Mila Jovovich in a movie and she just stands there and does spells.
I think, and you also have a scene where it's just like, oh yeah, this creature just straight up murders children. Oh, and there's a corridor full of dead children parts. It's just like, what fucking movie is this?
Yeah,
I haven't seen The Crooked Man, but I'm intrigued.
Same. Yeah. I'm dying.
Yeah,
I'm dying.
And
luckily, I have access to it, so I'm getting
one of the most pirated movies in Canada, apparently.
Oh.
That's probably because it didn't come out over there.
No,
true.
I think it did, but I think it had a very limited theatrical.
It definitely came out on PVOD. I don't remember seeing it in a theater anywhere, but.
Yeah. So we'll talk about that probably later on this year. So coming up in the month of April for shows, not quite sure what's going to happen. We'll probably revisit the Ridley Scott movies for Aliens for the Aliens weekend on 4/26. So we'll do Prometheus, we'll do Covenant. We'll probably talk around Romulus if we want to, and maybe a little bit of discussion around Alien Earth if you've had a chance to watch that series as well. And that'll be our celebration of the Alien franchise. Other than that, though, we got lots of good programming coming up on the site. We got the TWIG Live show. It's going to be coming up. I'm going to be going to GriffCon. So if you happen to live in the Guelph area, you can come visit me and Damien up at the University of Guelph at the University Center on the weekend of April 10th to the 12th. I am running Star Trek Adventure 2nd Edition. As you guys know, I'm a writer on that. I'm also going to be running the Aliens Evolved game on Saturday night and Sunday afternoon. So hopefully I will see you there. I still have some spots available at my table, but spots are filling up quickly. Go to griffcon.com to find out more information regarding that. I guess, Adam, what are you going to be talking about on end credits anytime soon?
Well, in credits, we review a different movie every week, and we talk about topics in and around movies, listicles, and drafts and things. I don't know when exactly this will go to air, but our most recent episode is a review of Project Hail Mary, and we also kicked off our 6 in 76 50th anniversary series with, obviously, Taxi Driver. We're taking not necessarily the top 6 movies of 1976, but what we feel are the top 6 movies of 1976, and dedicating a portion of an episode to those movies. And we're kicking off with Taxi Driver. I won't spoil the other 5. Other recent episodes we've done a review of excuse me, we did a review of the documentary about Heather O'Rourke. She was here, just very interesting. We talked about Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die, a very interesting movie. And we also did a full review of The Bride, which had a lot of enthusiasm, if not a lot of enjoyment, but interesting film to say the least. So yeah, check out End Credits, endcreditsradioshow.com, or we're on the Guelph Politicast feed, and you can get that wherever you get podcasts.
Fantastic. And of course, we'll have Dave and Ken on board here as we do more loose cannons. We got Rams coming up. We got a bunch recorded in the can as evergreen content. As far as I understand, Alex and Aaron are going to be working on something. I do not know the details of that specifically. I know we did review all the original Star Trek movies. We haven't got into the Next Generation films and the later ones by J.J. Abrams, but we will get to those at some point later on this year. For your most consistent content, though, like I said, we always have the show on Mondays or Tuesdays for things. The Spellbook airs Wednesdays on CFRU 93.3 FM in Guelph, but also gets rebroadcast here on TWIG on Wednesday afternoons to Wednesday evenings, where you can hear me and Damien talk about the tabletop role-playing game industry. I believe the episode you should hear next week should be us talking about tropes in sci-fi or games we want to play. I'm not 100% sure, and I know we have a TTRPG gift guide coming up in the near future, plus narrative versus simulation games. How do you want to participate in your role play? So for ThisWeekInGeek.net's Loose Cannon from Guelph, Ontario, Canada, on the other side of town, you have been...
I have been Adam A. Donaldson.
From the lovely city of Troy, Ohio.
David Denoyer coming to you from Ohio.
And of course, from New Jersey, the Garden State, and host of This Anime,
Ken from This Anime.
And I've been Mike the Birdman saying be excellent to each other, be kind, rewind, and Cowabunga dudes. We'll catch you next time right here on ThisWeekInGeek.net.
I'm sorry, sir. This is a private mountain.
But I only wanted it.
This mountain is reserved for patrons of drive-in theaters.
But
it's a supply depot for all sorts of good things.
Video. It's the only way to get what you want to watch when you want to watch it. Action, adventure, horror, comedy, drama, suspense, romance, great entertainment.
Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.